Okay, guys. Well, I know everybody is pretty much aware that we are having a very special celestial event on the 31st of January 2018. And so I did just want to bring some more information in regards to the importance and significance of this event and just how rare this event is. But I also have some other interesting information that connects 2018 with another very significant celestial event and also some biblical scripture. So just before I do continue on, I did just want to say that in this video, I am not relating these dates and these events to anything miraculous. And so I am not saying that there is going to be any spiritual event that takes place on the 31st of January or on any of the other dates that I relay in this video. What I'm actually saying is that we exist in a cycle. And all of these celestial events are indicators of what part of the cycle we are in. And because we are now in the last degree of the Iron Age, it is very significant when we see these types of rare celestial events because they can be an indicator of where we're at in the cycle. Now, unfortunately, the knowledge that once belonged to mankind about these celestial events and the cycle that we existed in have been stolen from us, and they now reside in the Vatican Library. And so the Vatican are very aware of the importance of these celestial events. This is why the Vatican has one of the best observatories in the world, if not the best observatory in the world. And this information would also be in the possession of very high-ranking government officials. So they are all very aware of where we're at in the cycle. This is why they're so insane. This is why the war drums continue to beat louder and louder every day. And this is why mankind continues to basically descend further into insanity, because we have some very evil people who have possession of knowledge that mankind don't have possession of, and they are manipulating everything from the shadows because they understand what is approaching due to where we're at in this cycle. And this is also information that was left to us from all of the ancient cultures and in all of the biblical scriptures, not just Christianity, but all of the other ancient texts as well, and all of the mythologies. And basically every culture left us information in regards to the cycle in which we existed in. So when we actually look to that cycle and we understand that we do exist in a cycle, then we do understand that all of these celestial events are indicators of what part of the cycle we are in. Now, this map that is available on timeanddate.com, which I will actually put a link under the video, basically shows you where this eclipse is going to be available to be viewed or going to be visible, and where this eclipse isn't going to be visible. So basically South America and pretty much all of Africa except for Egypt up here, which is significant in the other information that I will be relaying in regards to these celestial events. So that is interesting. But other than that, the areas that are in the blue basically will not actually be able to see this eclipse. Everywhere else, and luckily for me in Australia, we will be able to see the lunar eclipse. It will be visible to us. And when we have these lunar eclipses, it gives the moon a reddish tinge, and this is why they are also known as blood moons. Now, the other interesting information in regards to this celestial event that's happening on the 31st is that it's not just one event. We're not just having a full lunar eclipse. We're also experiencing a supermoon, but also a blue moon. Now, for those that aren't aware, a blue moon is when there are 2 full moons within 1 calendar month. And so this event that we're about to see on the 31st of January is going to be a supermoon, a blue moon, and a full lunar eclipse. It's also part of a supermoon trilogy, and so it's the 3rd supermoon in a trilogy, and it's going to culminate in a full lunar eclipse. Now, there's also going to be a connection to 77, which is quite a very important and significant number in the esoteric knowledge. And so the full moon is going to pass through the Earth's shadow for 77 minutes. Also, following the 2 full moons occurring in January, the calendar month of February is going to have no full moon at all. But in March, there are going to be 2 full moons with a blue moon on March 31st. So we're going to actually have another blue moon in March. Now, the last time that we had a total eclipse of a blue moon was on March the 31st, 1866, which equates to about 152 years ago. Now, there are some that are saying that the last combination of a blue moon, supermoon, and a lunar eclipse happened on December the 30th, 1982, so it's not that rare. Well, in fact, they are in error because that was only a blue moon when you apply universal time. And according to the records, it was not a supermoon, nor was it part of a supermoon trilogy. Now, I found this information from an astrologer who has basically got all of the data in regards to the full moons and the new moons, and he relates that on December the 30th, 1982, it was a full moon, but it was not a supermoon. So the supermoons he marks as with an X, and as you can see, there is no X here, so it was not a supermoon, and it also was not part of a supermoon trilogy. Now, looking at the figures in regards to just how rare it is to have a blue moon and a supermoon and a full moon eclipse, they say that this occurs 0.42% of full moons once every 2,380 full moons or so. So on average, that corresponds to once every 265 years. Now, again, though, they are not adding into this equation that this is part of a trilogy. So that would make it even rarer. Now, the other interesting information I wanted to give you in regards to celestial events in 2018, and by the way, 2018 is an 11 year because 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8 equals 11, and so it's an 11 year, and on 11, when you look at the esoteric knowledge, equates to divine justice. Okay, so that's just interesting that it's an 11 year. But if we have a look at some of the other information that's available, and this is connected to the information from Judaism, we can see that they have actually tracked all of the tetrads when it comes to lunar eclipses. And there was a very special and significant tetrad from 1967 to 1968. And on the 6th of October in 1968, there was a red moon eclipse, and it was called the Feast of the Tabernacle. Now, what makes this interesting is some information that we've got when it actually comes to biblical scripture, because if we actually look at the Jubilee year, we will find that in Leviticus 25 to 8:13, verses 8 to 13, it basically says that you shall count off 7 Sabbaths of years, 7 times 7 years, and there shall be to you the days of 7 Sabbaths of years, even 49 years. then you shall sound the loud trumpet on the 10th day of the 7th month. On the day of atonement, you shall sound the trumpet throughout all your land. You shall make the 50th year holy and proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee to you, and each of you shall return to his property, and each of you shall return to his family. So when we actually look at 2017, Israel said that this was a jubilee year. And so when we look to 2018, that makes it the year of consecration. It makes it the holy year. And so we are now in the holy year. Now, what makes it interesting is that the 50th year is the holy year, and on the 6th of October 2018, that will be 50 years from the Feast of the Tabernacle moon that happened on the 6th of October in 1968. Now, what else is very interesting is that in Giza, Egypt, there's a city called the 6th of October. And they basically say that the city's name commemorates the commencement of the October War on the 6th of October 1973, the same date chosen as Egypt's Armed Forces Day. Now, the 6th of October 1973, when you do the numerology on that date, it equates to a 27. And again, students that understand the esoteric knowledge and understand the significance of esoteric numbers knows that 27 is a very significant esoteric number. Others will know the number 27 because of the 27 Club. And this is when celebrities seem to always die around the age of, or at the age of 27. So this is again because it is a very significant number, and I won't go into all of the information regarding to why celebrities seem to always die at that age, but just to say that it is a significant number. So let's go back to looking at the Jubilee and look at what the verse says in regards to, then you shall sound the loud trumpet on the 10th day of the 7th month. So the 10th day of the 7th month. Now, most people think that the 7th month is actually July, but when you actually look at the information or the knowledge, the ancient knowledge connected to Judaism and the Torah, the first month of the Torah calendar is actually March, and it's called Nisan, okay, the month of Nisan. And it normally starts on either March or April. And this year it starts on Friday, the 16th of March, 2018. So March 2018 is the first year according to the Torah, the first month of 2018 according to the Torah. Sorry if I do make some little mistakes here with my words, guys. You just have to bear with me. There's a lot of information I'm trying to put out, so if I do actually slip up and say the wrong word, please just excuse that. So March 2018 we consider the first month. So if we count months from March, 7 months from March, then we get to October once again. So again, we've got the 6th of October in relation to Giza in Egypt, and we've also got the 6th of October in relation to the Feast of the Tabernacle, and now we have October in relation to the 7th month from March in 2018 if we're applying the Torah. Now, if we look at the scripture, and basically what the scripture says is it's the 10th day of the 7th month, which would make it the 10th of October. So again, it looks like October is very, very important when we're looking at information relating to the timing of certain events connected to Judaism. And we know that all of these scriptures have been used to basically manipulate mankind. And we also know that there is going to be a time where we experience very negative events. And so this is why I think that we look to these significant events, because it could be indicators of when we can experience some of these more violent and negative events to actually begin to play out. Now, why I find this very interesting also is because when we look to the Norse mythology, and I have done videos on the Norse mythology in regards to Fimbulwinter and the Ragnarok, and the Fimbulwinter is basically an indicator of where we're at in the cycle according to the Norse mythology. And they say when we experience the Fimbulwinter, that nations will go to war soon afterwards. And so when we look at all of this information and we bring it all together, we very well may be seeing that these events are indicators that we could be approaching a time where nations go to war, and that they also understand what these significant celestial events mean in the timing of the cycle. And so they are also using them to play out their hand, because they are following a script also. And we are now experiencing the last act in their script. And so all I'm saying is that these events could be connected to some very significant political events. And this could mean a time where we may experience a lot more violence and a time where nations go to war. And we should actually ready ourselves, because this is going to eventuate, whether it is this year and whether it is next year or the year after. It is an absolute certainty, according to all of the ancient texts and all of the mythology and all of the knowledge that was left to us, that at this part of the cycle, we will experience very negative events and very violent events connected to the evil men that have now taken control of our planet. So anyway, I hope you found that interesting. I certainly thought it was worth bringing to your attention. I will leave all of the information in this video in links underneath. The charts in regards to the tetrads and that information regarding the Feast of the Tabernacle Moon, that is available on my Pinterest account, and I have actually got that now linked to my channel, but I will put a link underneath as well, and you can find that in my Alchemy Diagrams folder, and you can download that for yourself and look into that in more detail too if you so wish. Well, I will leave it now. I hope everybody gets clear skies for the 31st of January 2018, and that you're lucky enough to be in an area where it's visible. And I will put everything underneath. And as always, peace out.